Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Just as we get ready to dive into today's meditation, one of the best ways to prepare yourself while we go through today's message is simply to find a nice dark space, or perhaps have a sleeping mask on so you don't have too much light come into your eyes. Earphones work well so that you have as little outside noise as possible and as much of an inside experience as you can. And by the time we're done with the message, you'll be ready to slip into today's meditation with us. Somebody, good morning. Danae, good morning. Hello, beautiful humans. Awesome seeing you. Right, today's meditation is called The Masks We Wear. And of course, today's message is about that. Today's journey highlights one of our most fundamental survival tools, the masks we wear. From our earliest moments, the world bombards us with messages about who we should be. Societal expectations, media portrayals, and even family dynamics can lead us to construct a series of masks, facades that we wear in order to fit in, to be accepted, or to avoid rejection. Anthony, good morning. It's good to see you, dude. Hello. Our teacher for this week is Alan Cohen, and here's a quote that speaks to that. Alan Cohen says, "You are in integrity when the life you are living on the outside matches who you are on the inside." Isn't it so beautifully clear? I love the clarity of this quote, that we are in integrity only when our inside matches the outside, when what we show the world is the same as what we really are on the inside. But this word integrity could also bring along with it the burden of judgment if we feel that this inner-outer congruence is something that we lack. The wearing of masks is a tool in our survival toolkit, and we are likely to reach for a mask whenever we feel that our true face would not be acceptable and would get us rejected. Understand that it is a scared part of you that has the need to mask up in order to feel safe, and that it is this scared part of you that needs your love the most. Your complete acceptance of yourself decreases the need of acceptance from others. In the presence of your own love, the need for a mask becomes less. The next thought from Alan Cohen is, wouldn't it be powerful if you fell in love with yourself so deeply that you'd do just about anything if you knew that it would make you happy? This is precisely how much life loves you and wants you to nurture yourself. The deeper you love yourself, the more the universe will affirm your worth. Then you can enjoy a lifelong love affair that brings you the richest fulfillment from the inside out. Charlene, good morning. It's awesome seeing you. Hello. Being more authentic and standing in your true integrity doesn't necessitate you ripping off masks like a sticky band-aid. Every step you take towards acceptance of yourself is another step further away from needing validation from anyone else. Take the baby steps, even though it feels like an unendingly slow process. And one by one, the old masks will simply lose their value. If you're ready, you can close your eyes and we'll float away together, starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in. And out. A deep breath in. And out. deep inhale. And let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in. And let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine. Lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and even drop your head. While you continue your full body breathing, really feel into the rise of your body as you inhale, and feel deeply into the fall of your body as you exhale. We'll have a quick discussion about how our masks tend to come into being. As children, the first way we get to know ourselves is through what is called a reflected sense of self. I think it's a beautiful description because we can all think back as kids how we received feedback from every human around us about who we are. We heard it in words, just like the way we know our name is because it was reflected to us from the humans around us so many thousands of times that we believe it. But more was reflected back to us in the words, the body language, and even just the facial expressions of the humans around us. Whether consciously and even more importantly, subconsciously, it told us something about who we are, who we should be, what we are expected to be. It is part of our ancient programming that we would want to fit into the tribe. Of course, there was a time when being kicked out of the tribe would be an existential threat. And we certainly have not lost that programming. We want to make ourselves acceptable to the tribe from a sense of safety. But this is what teaches us to wear a mask, to show up in a way that we feel we will be accepted and not kicked out. Now we are offered the opportunity as adults to revisit these masks, to realize where we are modifying who we are because we are scared of rejection, and to do some work around that. We heard Alan Cohen this morning say that integrity is when what we show the world is the same as what we are on the inside. Once again, we're not here trying to rip off masks like Band-Aids, but simply to start giving ourselves the love we need in order for masks to lose their value. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left, forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. See if you're able to tilt your head to the left and tilt your hips to the right, curving your spine into an S from your head down to your tailbone. And then, are you able to switch? Tilt your head to the right, tilt your hips to the left. See if you can switch sides again. And switch sides again. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least becoming as present as we possibly can be right now, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, we'll take the next few big breaths together. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips into your body and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening, and feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, the reminder is our journey today is a look back through the masks that we may have picked up and started wearing in order to feel like we could cope, feel like we could survive, be accepted. This journey is not about pointing fingers at people who made us feel rejected, but simply to form an understanding so that we can provide ourselves the love that brings acceptance beyond anything that anyone else can offer. Take your next big breath. We're walking back all the way to some of our earliest childhood memories. I want you to think back to the youngest version of you, with your parents or perhaps other caregivers, and see if you can remember a moment where you felt that the way you were being was not acceptable, and that you would have to show up differently if you wanted to be accepted. Does a moment like that perhaps come to your mind as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you? Just hang out in that space for a moment. Take your next big breath. If you could recognize such a moment, the point is not to criticize parents who parented the only way they knew how, but to realize that right now you are the source of acceptance. You can take off that mask and gently place it on the floor next to you. We'll stroll a little bit forward in time, still the very young version of you, with other adult caregivers. These could be uncles and aunts, these could be grandparents, these could be any one of a circle of friends and family and caregivers that the young you was exposed to. Can you remember a moment where some big adult made you feel like the way you were was not acceptable, and that you would have to be different if you wanted to be accepted? Take a moment to see if you can recall such an event. Take your next big breath. Take a moment to acknowledge that very young version of you. Let that little child know that you've got him now, you've got her now. Your arms are always open, and you always have acceptance. We'll stroll forward in time a little bit more. A young version of you playing with other young kids. These could be siblings, they could be cousins, they could be the neighbor's kids down the street. Think back on a moment with other young kids where one of these young kids made you feel like the way you are is not acceptable. And you would have to be different if you wanted to be accepted. See if you can remember such an incident. Take your next big breath. Can you take a moment to recognize other children as being fellow humans, also just trying to survive? Can you check in with a young version of you and let yourself know those kids didn't have a clue either? And just make sure your arms are open to you. Welcome that child in. Hold her, hold him. We'll take another step forward. In our young lives, teachers play a larger than life role. And very often we have experiences with teachers that make us feel like the way we are is not acceptable. And that we had to somehow be different if we wanted to be accepted. Can you remember a moment with a teacher? Take your next big breath. Could you remind this young version of you that teachers, they're just human too? And that they have a really tall order to try and bring some sense of control to way too many kids. Of course they're going to get it wrong. Of course they're going to make mistakes. What's most important is that your arms can welcome that young version of you. And let the young you know that here is always acceptance. Our teenage friends, of course, play a huge role in how we see ourselves too. It's not called peer pressure for nothing. Can you remember a moment with a teenage friend where you felt deeply rejected, where it felt like you would have to be different in order to be accepted? Take your next big breath. That's another mask that you can take off and gently place on the floor next to you. Being accepted by teenage friends is just not a game that you need to play anymore. And then, of course, while our childhood experiences play the biggest role, as adults, we have repeats of these experiences too. Can you remember a moment in your adult life? This might have been a romantic relationship. This might have been a friend, a colleague, a client even. Can you remember a moment in your adult life where likewise it felt like the way you are is not going to be accepted, and you would have to wear a mask, put on a different face if you wanted to be accepted? Take your next big breath. And the reminder is that those other humans, those other fellow adult humans, are all caught in their own form of survival. They're all experiencing their own fight or flight. It's not to make excuses for them, but it's not their job to like you anyway. It is your job to like you. And of course, we should limit our exposure to humans that seem toxic. But more than that, open your arms to you. Make sure that you know that you always have acceptance for the human parts of you that are just trying. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Let's do one more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back, or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. I'll read to you one more time, Alan. Now for a moment, Alan Cohen, there we go. Alan Cohen's thoughts on this subject. He says, you are in integrity when the life you are living on the outside matches who you are on the inside. It might take time to love ourselves enough to really live into this way of integrity. And that's what he says. He says, wouldn't it be powerful if you fell in love with yourself so deeply that you would do just about anything if you knew that it would make you happy? He says this is precisely how much life loves you and wants you to nurture yourself. The deeper you love yourself, the more the universe will affirm your worth. Then you can enjoy a lifelong love affair that brings you the richest fulfillment from the inside out. Being more authentic and standing in your own true integrity does not necessitate you ripping off masks like a sticky band-aid. Every step you take towards acceptance of yourself is another step further away from needing validation from anyone else. Take the baby steps, even though it feels like an unendingly slow process. And one by one, those old masks, they will simply lose their value. And when we really fill up our own tanks with love, then the way we play with other humans who are also filled with love, it's just completely different than the ways we were trying to find acceptance in the past. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for this journey of recognizing the moments when I feel like I have to pretend to be something different than what I really am. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning that the most powerful I can be is to not dilute my energy by pretending I'm something else. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to stand in integrity. When what the world sees is exactly what's on the inside. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for unconditional acceptance for all of my human parts. Even when I'm clear about what needs work still, I have no rejection for those parts of me that still need to evolve. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for being on this journey with us. Pat, a very good morning. It's great seeing you. Yes, indeed. Stay warm today. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Danae. Thank you, Sunmarie. Wishing you all a beautiful day. Especially today in this cold South Africa. Lots of love to you all. Ciao, ciao.